Notice that Summit here is playing
letting
with
the
the
intros
classic
drop.
color instead of
But
his
let's see what the
normal
round start
colors.
is. Could be 2S from Chipp. Or maybe both sides will just jump away.
It's an
and
interesting
get some
strategic
space.
gambit
Try to
here.
feel each other out.
That or maybe his normal color wasn't unlocked. I don't know.
All right, here we go. First match.
Or maybe
top
this is
4.
Summit reclaiming the
Yep,
original,
and
saying,
very
no, this
first
is my
round,
color now.
And it begins with...
Oh,
oh,
teleport and backdash.
yeah, okay, so Samito trying to get in. And
So I'm gonna preface this by saying I have a lot of experience playing Chipp into Raven thanks to Adapt. Shoutouts to Adapt. But I do not have practice playing against Kazunoko's Raven. So I'm looking forward to learning some stuff. One thing I like is right off the bat, he is putting fucking pressure. He's not letting, like,
the first knockdown though.
Summit is not letting
Doesn't get anything out of it.
Raven
Samito gets
do
out
anything
safely.
cheaply. He's
so the
continuously
overhead
moving,
into the
and he's
egg grab.
usually moving forward.
okay, so Kazunoko is choosing not to tag after Gamma Blade OTGs, not wanting to play
Solid
the mind
pressure
game,
over
and
here,
this is going to
2
be a
hits
left-right
on
mix-up.
Oh, blocks the burst.
Okay, that's very good advice.
Right now.
Let's see
There'll
that
be
burst
a
fade
setup
again.
into
Let's see
the
if there's anything
overhead.
we can glean from this. Also, one thing I want to point out, I don't call it out that often, but Summit is generally eking every little bit of damage out of Chipp combos. He's always going for really damaging combos whenever he lands a high damage starter. All right, I'll turn it down. I kind of take it for granted that he does this, so I don't call this out that much. What up, God King Washington? But it is one of the, hands down, one of the things that differentiates Summit from we'll say a garden variety ninja is he optimizes real hard on every single positional exception and combo possible to just eke out the most damage, and it really matters.
Not wanting to play the mind game, and this is going to be a left-right mix-up.
Oh,
blocks the burst.
I think that was just a bad
Okay,
time to
very good
burst.
advice.
Right now.
Will be a setup into the over.
That right there is some shit that I wanted to steal. So normally, I think if you watch Bears
that's
say
very
go through this exchange right here, right? So there's after you catch him off the wall alpha, there is there's a bunch of different follow-ups that you can do. What I was expecting here would be like //IAD JD, and then like land on some Ryunagi. That's the knife super, right? And go for a knife super mix-up. But
right now.
Summit has been doing a lot of this right here, where he'll fake a meaty rush show and go straight into the overhead. Right, look at that.
Into the
Boom.
overhead.
And then RC it.
Okay,
And he
yeah.
goes for the
Waiting
overhead a
for the right
lot
height.
when he has meter, which is something I've been trying to play with more. But I like it because I don't know. It's just it keeps up the pace. I'm honestly surprised it works as much as he does, and he does it a lot. Goes for the overhead again. That time is a combo though, so not quite as impressive. But still, look at that fucking damage. Oh,
Huge damage.
Gamma trade,
Kazunoko has
catching
lost
Kazunoko's Raven Dash.
a quarter of his
This
life
time
left.
he eats the
He
pin.
gets the needle into
He'd
the
run in
butt.
with 6P, it would have been fine there.
And Samito so
Wire C
aware.
throw.
Oh, nice backdash.
Oh, this is also something worth pointing out because I see a lot of newer Chipps be like, and I've literally seen this comment in the Discord. I've seen people have been like, why play neutral when I can just get 25 meter and then teleport, wire C throw, and Oki off the teleport? One, Chipp's Oki off throw is not great. But two, Roman cancels have a property in this game where they basically kill your ability to gain tension for like the next 4 or 6 seconds or something like that, which actually means a lot. So not only, hey, what up, Denim Daddy? What up, basically? If you wire C to win something in neutral, that's great. You won something in neutral, hopefully is worth it. But you're not going to get meter for a little while, and that's actually like the amount of meter that you could be getting off winning neutral might actually be equal or greater than the amount that you spent on the wire C. So the total cost of that wire C is not just the 25 that you spent to wire C. You're also preventing yourself from gaining meter. Like you might end up having spent 50% on that wire C just because whatever happened afterwards would have played out so well. So be careful when you're using wire C in neutral, because I know 25 meter doesn't seem like a lot, but when it kills your ability to gain tension for a little while, it's actually costing you a lot more.
And Samito so aware.
Oh, nice backdash. Doesn't get any.
Okay, so chip pressure begins very difficult to deal with.
So at that
nice.
point, oh yeah, Denim Daddy, that was great. Look at this one. So off throw, empty
nice
jump low,
backdash.
that's fine. Chipp is in Kazunoko's face, pressing buttons, spending meter, whatever. Finally, Kazunoko contests with like the stand punch or whatever that was. And you'll notice that after this exchange, I think Kazunoko starts pressing a lot more buttons against Summit to stop him from stealing.
Nice poke, yep.
But Summit will just take as many turns. Oh, and oh my
Yep.
god, the clutch
Yep,
6P.
and just like
Honestly, the
That
MVP
midfield
of this
there,
top
Samito
4
has
set
a
is
very, very
absolutely
commanding,
Chipp 6P.
grasp of
And
his
Summit
matchup.
6P in
Kazunoko
particular.
is gonna have to
When I
big
try and
up
throw
here.
out 6P like that, I get shit on
See, he
all
can
the
make
time.
necessary adjustments to bring this back.
Okay, take it
Alpha.
What kind of reset is it gonna be? It's a teleport.
Yeah,
Goes
it's
to
a
the
good
throw.
grab.
Oh. Okay,
Oh,
and
nice get.
Good
Yeah,
air
yeah,
throw.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Kazunoko's
Remember the
starting
call?
to figure
Yeah,
out how to
dash to the
stuff the
low.
teleport a little bit.
Air grab is definitely one of them.
That punishes the goal burst, but doesn't get the full
Ooh,
combo.
gets
Okay,
dunked.
good confirm on the counter hit into the air command
Yeah,
grab.
he gets the overhead.
Goes
Oh,
high but doesn't
no
manage to get the
conversion.
follow up. Okay, and he gets the scratch. He'll be able to get the grab.
yep.
And
gonna
he's
get it.
dead.
No,
Just
no,
straight
that
up
is
dead.
so much damage.
Yep.
Alright, so Kazunoko fighting back, getting good hits in air to
Oh,
air.
this is another nuance. So real quick,
Oh,
you'll
to
see if we
Kazunoko
rewind a whole
air grab.
bunch, that gold
Okay,
burst
nice,
there.
great air grab, yes.
Yep.
Remember that
Oh, air dash into the low.
To just wake up gold burst. I actually really like this for Chipp and for Summit, even though it didn't work out. And the reason is Chipp doesn't have that much health, which means that if you save your round 1 burst until pretty late into round 1, you might not get burst ever again. This happens to me all the time. You can watch me get blown up by Daemendo in like 1,000 different tournaments where I'm scared to burst, so I burst until it's pretty late. And then I burst and I doesn't work and I lose the round, and then I'm going into round 2 and I don't get my burst back in time because Slayer just kills Chipp so fast. Now Raven's damage isn't quite as lethal or as immediate as Slayer's, but I like this because Summit is using the burst in a situation where it's a pretty decent idea. Like, you don't know exactly what Raven's going to do off this ball mix-up, but you know he's probably going to come in with something, right? And at the very least, if you get that wake-up gold burst, it's a safe enough wake-up, right? That you can probably get away with it even if you fuck up. Obviously, if it had worked out, that would have been great for Summit. But even if it doesn't, he is managing to use the burst productively while Chipp still has some health on the board, right? And because there's a gold burst, he gets 25% of that, or 20% of that burst meter back. He gets the B, right? So what happens? Well, Chipp eats shit. He dies almost immediately after, right? But because he had already used his burst, that these lost hit points are not all for naught, right? He is able to regenerate another 40. So he got a little shy of 60% total burst meter, right? So he's going to go into this next round knowing at the very least, oh god, I'll get 1 burst, right? And again, for Chipp, that is an issue. For characters with bigger health, by and large, they don't have to worry about this. But Chipp absolutely has to worry about
Getting
this.
good hits in air to air. Okay, and now it's
No, he's invisible.
Notice also, so like
that is so much damage.
Yep.
on round start,
Alright, so Kazunoko
Summit
fighting
basically,
back,
hey,
getting
what up,
good hits,
Beiji Wang?
in air to air.
So Summit IED back kicks and then lands, sees that Raven isn't really coming in with anything, and goes immediately into Find Me, right? So this is, y'all who have hung around in the stream for a while may remember me at different points looking for ways to make Chipp a slower and more conservative character in neutral because I was just wilding out too much. And one thing I realized between watching Summit, playing other characters, and also watching Chipp is that Chipp's movement at you is really good, but his movement away from you fucking sucks. His air backdash isn't bad. His ground backdash is fucking trash. It just locks him up in a state where he's not moving that far for too long. He doesn't, his invincibility there isn't that useful. So basically, Chipp has a really easy time going in, but he doesn't have a really easy time going back out. And so what Summit does with this full screen space, this little lull in the action, where, remember, up until now, Summit has been pretty consistently pressuring Raven whenever he gets a moment's chance, right? Now Summit's like, oh, at full screen, you're not going to do anything immediately, so I'm going to use Find Me, and that'll just be one thing to give me a little bit of an extra edge. And I really like how Summit uses Find Me. That's fucking gold.
Okay, and now
No,
It runs in,
invisible,
teleports,
not
does some shit.
Samito's,
He's
being
trying
forced
to
on the
dodge
big,
Raven's
okay.
attack. Run up
nice.
6p.
Remember,
Hell
it's
yeah.
difficult to jump, to do the glide against Chipp because
And that
the
Find
6P
Me
is so
helped,
good.
right? It just made it a little bit harder to
Okay,
track
and
Chipp
going
and
to
see what he was
back
doing.
dash. So both sides return back into neutral.
Still chasing.
Playing a bit more respectfully. But
Another
nice. Nope.
6p.
Yeah, you
Oh.
right as I say that.
Yeah, right. As you said it, can't glide into that.
Okay, so a good 4P match from Kazunoko, and yep. So one of the problems with this is that
This is
when
another,
Chipp-
actually,
good
this is another
4P match
funny
from-
aspect of dealing with ball Oki. So even though the ball is not on top of Chipp, Summit decides to wake up DP, right? Which is actually in this situation a very low cost option. And the reason is this ball is going to hit Chipp out of his DP. Raven has a really hard time continuing a combo after this ball like that, especially when Chipp's in midair. So Chipp's going for the hit. If he gets the hit, great, right? I think that should dissipate the projectile, right? But if it doesn't, he just gets hit away, right? And yeah, Kazunoko ends up getting an air tech or a tech trap throw, whatever. Like, that worked out well for Kazunoko. But that was something else that Kazunoko had to do. And the net value of that knockdown actually wasn't that good.
That's the wake up meta bait, and you have the ball out.
Got it, Proximus. Thanks for verifying.
If he gets hit by the ball.
Yeah.
Another 6P.
What's he going to be?
Ugh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and good catch.
Yeah, see, let's look at that section again, right?
And you have
So
the ball out. It's
Summit's
difficult to punish even-
Summit's turn. Raven's low on health, but he's got
Yeah,
some
yeah,
meter.
if he
Summit's
gets hit by the
continuing
ball.
to pressure.
Yeah.
He goes in. He gets his momentum checked by this Raven's. I think that's stand 5P, right? Checked again, so he IBs the 2H, but he's and then the scratch. But now he's pushed all the way out here, and Raven actually spends the meter to continue his turn, right? Runs in, presses some buttons. Summit's like, I need to get out of here and reset before I can go back in. What up, VSC Aloha? We run the beginner tournaments every month on the first Saturday of every month. So October's did happen, and November's is right around the corner, baby. Anyway, at this point, Chipp is trying to get away, but he's getting away slowly. He's getting away so slowly that Raven can actually just dash in, and that looks like punch. I think it might be as far as I don't remember. But he's able to catch up with Chipp really easily. This is what I mean when I say Chipp's backward movement fucking sucks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and good
Gets
catch
caught by the
into-
scratch.
Oh, nice.
Wake up
Wow.
6P, beats Kazunoko's buttons,
Samito tried
but he gets caught
to beat
again.
anti-air, but nothing came out from Kazunoko. Burst
yeah,
for
burst.
safety. This is
Yeah, but- oh,
And hell yeah,
nice.
Aloha, we'll see you there.
That should have been negative.
Woo, run up throw.
And what's the setup? Oh, rock back low.
Walk back low.
To bait the
the
throw.
shims.
Yeah.
The shimmies.
Look at that classic textbook fucking Street Fighter shimmy here in Guilty
Oh,
Gear.
very
Grand
aggressive
finals,
approach
or
from
winners
Samito,
finals,
gets punished
excuse
for
me.
it, but still survives. No real follow-up.
Woo.
And, oh my god, Alpha Blade and
That was
Kazunoko
pretty cool.
flies away, and this time the jump
Another
kick
find
is
me.
the anti-air.
Didn't work out
yes,
too well
oh, wow.
afterwards. Wake up 6P,
Yeah,
I like
there's
it.
a lot of things about the ball. It's not much
Kazunoko's
to
air
get
throws
up,
are
but
on
they have to
point
do it.
this set,
Okay,
by the
and
way.
Samito getting hit.
Oh!
Oh,
Nice
my
anti-air
goodness.
grab.
This is gonna be RC to another grab. Into the knock.
Gets the
Yep.
combo
Yep.
afterwards
Yep.
because he's
Gets the
excited.
ball. Okay, but it's not really much of a
Doesn't
threat.
get
Oh.
much of a
Okay,
reward
good
out of it.
teleport,
Oh,
but
Aw.
could not get punished. Oh,
Alright, gets
my
slapped.
Kazunoko back breaker.
out of the release. Oh,
Oh.
I'd say now on a tie, one apiece.
Oh, run up
that's
6P
actually
again.
good hit, 6P,
Okay,
so good.
guess on the 50-50. Oh,
Also, I just want to point something out for people who like this. This is one of those aspects of Guilty Gear Neutral that's probably undermentioned, but that more people should pay attention to. Hey, what up, Graffiti Bandit? Check out what Summit does here. He runs up, and then basically right after he crosses the halfway point, when Raven's in the corner, he jumps up and goes for a JP. Right? Goes JP again, and then then finishes his jump arc. Meanwhile, Kazunoko has blocked this and comes down with JH. I guarantee you Summit did not do this thinking, oh, Kazunoko is definitely going to jump back here, right? Summit probably did this thinking Kazunoko is probably going to jump back here, right? Now, Raven likes to jump back. He kind of has to in the situation, unless he wants to deal with Chipp's run-in standing buttons, and that wouldn't have been a good look for Raven, honestly. But if let's say this string didn't work out,
So
He's
gets the
good.
hit, 6P,
Okay.
so
Right.
good.
guess on the 50-50.
he runs up. JP, whiff JP, drop JH is fine. And Chipp actually still has his air dash, so if he wanted to, he could backdash out of this, right? The way I like to think of it is if you play Street Fighter, if you play other fighting games, you're probably familiar with, for slower footsies-based games, walking back and forth a little bit and then whiffing a light punch or a light kick or whatever, right? That's a pretty common like movement thing. It's basically like a very light fake that's just designed to get your opponent to do something, right? And whatever they do is probably going to take longer to complete and be higher risk than whatever your jab was. And by the time they see your jab, you've already done it. You're probably safe, right? Guilty Gear, jumping at someone and pressing punch and then air dashing backwards is basically like that, but in 2 dimensions, right? You don't cost yourself that much of the jump up punch if they're not there, right? It's not as low commitment as a Street Fighter whiff jab, but it is a similar neutral maneuver that's worth getting used to. Anyway, Chipp gets to keep up the momentum. Nice air throw. FDoki. Burst works though. He's keeping up his turn. He's building that meter.
Okay, manages to get it.
Just haranguing Raven. He's not letting Raven get anywhere.
Oh no, never mind.
Oh, the overhead works.
Yeah, so this should be.
Oh, and then he fucked up his jump install. I felt this so hard.
Oh, okay, so that was
I don't even think he needed to
screw up
jump
the
install to finish that combo. It's just that's what you do. But Summit takes it.
Always wins.
Takes the first round anyway.
Because you're being held in place by a spiritual projection.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
Ooh,
Okay,
nice
good,
run up
great.
throw. What did he set that off of too?
Okay.
Alright.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh,
good,
I guess
great.
the grab,
Close
yeah.
S is great for setting up run up throw. Oh,
good, good.
Kazunoko with a clutch air throw.
Oh,
Wake up DP gets baited. Actually decent punish. Summit also gets super greedy with those alpha blades a couple times. I don't know if that was specifically calling out like a backdash or something, but he gets fucking cooked for that sometimes.
Oh, that's so...
Look at that big ass damage. Let's look at that again. How do you get that damage? So 6H. This is definitely an underrated tool, right? So I don't know how many of y'all hit every single combo you're going for, right? But the better you get at Guilty Gear, the more you're able to look at to recognize whether they're taking the hits or blocking them, and you can adjust your combo route accordingly. In this case, Chipp's 6H is great for cranking their fucking guard meter, right? So like here, as soon as Summit runs in, gets him to block a JD, cool. Running in, pressing some quick buttons. By the time he hits that 6P, hey, what up, Moo Cactus? By the time he hits that 6P, he knows that Raven's blocking. So this is basically a frame trap. Like, this string doesn't work as a combo, but because 6P cancels into 6H, he's basically frame trapping Raven. So if Kazunoko tries to jump out or whatever, he might get caught. But he also just cranks that guard gauge into Resho to get a little extra guard gauge. From here, Gamma Blade, which again, the reason this Gamma Blade worked is because he knows that up until now, Kazunoko has been pressing buttons after Resho each time, right? Because Summit was stealing turns. Now he's like, Gamma Blade, this is specifically to catch you pressing buttons. Wire sees it. Normally you don't get that much damage off a Gamma Blade combo, but because the risk was already cranked to like 35% or something, and he gets the 6H, which is like very well done. I don't go for this one myself. Into a full damage conversion. Look at that fucking combo. That was with wire C damage scaling and everything. Holy shit. And he gets to find me. What up, Dechoy? Summit, why are you so smart? What the fuck? Nice 6P. Again with a good ass combo. Y'all can see the cost of that wire C though, which is that Summit wasn't getting any meter for most of that.
Woo! He had no choice.
Yes, yep. I mean, not much could have done there.
Yep. Unfortunately, Guilty Gear has many situations like those.
Fam, if Kazunoko does it, you don't need to be worried about it at all.
Okay, both sides trading opening pokes, but oh no!
Oh, yes,
Oh.
Yeah, man, that's a very, very wide burst.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification, Light. Alright, so Chipp's chasing him down. Corner mix-up works. 5D doesn't work. Gets caught by the big buttons. Wire C teleport to stay in there.
Punishes the whatever.
Gamma Blade, keep him pinned down. Goes for the low. This is greedy as hell right here. So he goes Gamma Blade, sure. Gamma Blade into run-up press buttons. A quick PSA, I know Bears has probably lectured enough of you about this already, but Gamma Blade on block. See that? That right there? Chipp is +5. Don't fucking press buttons after Gamma Blade. Just don't do it if you are playing against a Chipp. Instead, he runs up, close slash. Kazunoko probably got caught trying to jump out. But that low kick is like -8 or something, so then Kazunoko is able to easily check that.
Oh, wow, great, Babari.
Nice 6P into a big-ass combo. Get that extension. Oh. Kazunoko like blocking every dust, though. Shouts to Kazunoko.
Very, very solid defense from Kazunoko.
Oh, 6P through the needle. Hell yeah.
Yeah, 6P, the god move.
Hey, what up, Sarv? Hell yeah, that's what's up.
My Samito is on set point right now.
I get it, Crooked.
Okay, gets the super jump mix up. Good block from Kazunoko, and wow, 6P even beat jump H. 6P wins the game.
So,
Super jump
there's
mix
something
up.
really
My
smart
Samito
here that
is
Summit's
on set
doing,
point right now.
besides playing
Okay,
Chip and just
gets
being
the-
generally handsome. Look
The
at
super
this.
jump
When he
mix.
fakes the teleport, runs in, far S,
Good block from Kazunoko.
then 6P. He doesn't only 6P. He doesn't, cause so if he had run up and 6P'd here, Raven would have just cleared it and punished him on the way down. Run up far S I like, because then on the way down, once he sees that Raven has eluded the far S, he can come out with a 6P.
Wow, 6P even beat jump H.
Exactly.
6P wins the game.
Yeah, CC wins. Oh, no, he's just doing it.
Get him with the think
Okay,
of.
the knee drop though, but yeah, no counter hit, so it's difficult to get a combo off it.
Yeah, Kazuma going to really need to
Hey,
make something
Sarv
happen right
rocking the
now.
mind
Barry is
games.
working out for him, but he's not been able to get hits in neutral.
Chip
Yeah.
players have the best Twitch emotes, man.
Oh wow, and just find me from Samito, gets
Oh,
the airbag dash,
Woo!
computer Kazunoko, gets the counter
yes,
hit.
the
God
counter hit.
damn.
Yes. Okay, but the,
I like
oh,
this,
the
by the
airbag-
way. So he's here and he's faking the FD cancel mix-ups. He wants to bait the burst. Didn't get it. Burst or blitz, actually. Either one.
Computer
He just escaped and then comes down with a 5D that counter hits.
Kazunoko
God
gets
bless.
the counter
Yes,
hit.
the counter hit.
Hey, don't
Yeah.
worry about it, Crooked
Okay,
Trick.
but
We'll
the needle
very
was
smart. Yeah.
take care of your
is
shit.
slow,
Needle.
slower than
Woo!
he, I mean, a bit slow
A
compared
bit,
to
yeah.
how fast he normally is.
Oh,
Better
Oh,
blade,
beta
beta.
blade, beta.
Beta
Beta
blade.
blade.
Okay, and good
Oh,
YRC
nice.
on the alpha blade. So we are gonna go into this, and what's the setup? It's gonna be count.
Oh.
Yeah, big rock, yep.
Some of y'all have probably
So we are
seen
gonna
me
go
lab
into
this
and what's
the
the
setup
setup?
before.
It's gonna be count,
It's gonna
cross
be-
up.
oh, yeah.
That was supposed to be a
Yep.
cross up
It's a
Alpha
cross
Blade,
up,
which
Alpha
honestly
Blade by Kazunoko,
probably
so he jumps
I
out.
wouldn't be
So
surprised
very,
if Summit
very
could have
good
killed
for him,
off
and he
of
just
that.
needs to get
Why
one
he
hit.
slow needle?
God damn,
dash
Sarv.
in. Oh, gets the low, but nothing out. Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
and
Goes for the
Had
dust,
to
but
do
he
it
gets
to
in
him.
there.
Oh,
Okay, goes into
Nice
the
combo.
air, gets the combo, and
It's gonna
Kazunoko.
be-
And again.
No, no, no,
Oh.
no, no, no.
goes for the tech, gets
Oh.
air thrown.
Oh,
man.
I'm pretty sure Samito tried to get the 6P there, but
Yeah, I think you probably wake up
he
6
didn't
speed
have
there.
enough frames to get into the invulnerable frames.
Kazunoko snatching victory
Yeah.
from the jaws of defeat. Still in
That's
the
a good
game.
point, Sarv.
And flag
Sarv mentioned that Summit's composure is great. Fam, you know how when you enter a tournament, like your heart rate is usually going a little faster and your hands might be like trembling a little bit from the adrenaline, and it just in general, like unless you are an experienced veteran who's been playing consistently for a long time, you're almost never going to play tournament matches the way you do casuals, because tournaments have something at stake, right? And like in when I first started competing in jiu-jitsu, my coach told me to expect that on the mats for competition, I will be operating at 50% what my capacity would be when I'm in practice, just because everything is more stressful and everyone's trying harder. Yeah, Detroit, that was actually, I think that was the Arc Revo tournament last year. So how those nerves play out affects different characters and different players differently. But Chipp is basically like, he's like driving like a fucking Formula One race card or something. Like, he responds to every single input you do, including every single input you fuck up, right? And so, and when you play against as Chipp and you're nervous, he just goes all over the fucking place, right? So the fact that Summit can play this cleanly and this confidently and this calmly is amazing.
hanging around sticking his leg out.
Yep.
Okay, but Samito's the one that's
Woo.
in. But again, a Barry from Kazunoko.
Yep.
Pressures not
Oh.
working out. Oh, oh and drop from
Bless the
Samito.
6P,
Yep.
gets air
So
thrown
the
with
It's
it.
gonna be-
dash thrown, backdash is good. Oh wow, and again we are trying to do double P teleports with the H1, but this time Kazunoko is wise with it. Pressure still continuing for
Woo.
Samito, but
Getting away with
Kazunoko
hella
is
alpha
not
blades. Look at that fucking risk. He's so deep he could get 2
giving up
counter
any
hits
hits.
off
Oh,
that.
and I say
Unfortunately,
that
it
he gets
whiffs.
a small
But that
counter hit.
Raven was dead as hell.
Oh no! And then what happens when you do dash, fast
Yeah.
dash into
Yeah.
into
Into
36S?
Yep. You
Oh,
get
and
Shuriken
then-
instead.
Yep.
Oh no. No from Jarvis. Oh no, is this gonna? Oh, gets the goal burst.
Nice goal
Is
burst.
he gonna be punishes the slow needle?
Yes, no burst for
burst
Kazunoko.
into
Chooses
that.
a more safe time.
Chip players are kind of
Okay.
bad at baiting bursts.
So the needle is coming. Oh,
I think
man,
it's 'cause we're
Samito
used to
barely
just
blocked his
going
time.
right back in. I don't know
just
why.
Goes in with the
Just the glide.
Not discouraged at all from all the 6Ps.
Yeah, that's the real surprising thing.
Yes.
Or maybe not since it's Kazunoko,
Yeah, I
but
mean-
he is not willing to give in at all. You don't have many tools.
But now they're tied.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. Sometimes you just gotta take it. All right, but now they're tied again.
It's that Chipp
So-
life,
So
baby.
the winner of this match is gonna move on
Oh.
to the grand
Oh,
final.
and
They're tied again.
Another important note.
to-
So you've seen Summit land a million 6Ps at
we
this
know
point. Raven's stupid
man is gonna
JK out of
move on.
glide kicks Chipp in the knee, which gets basically it gets under his upper body and vuln. It's annoying as hell. So if you're a Raven player and you, hey, what up, Zank? You want to stuff Chipp 6P? Go with the glide K.
to the grand final.
And again, 6P gets defeated by Jump K.
Ooh.
Alpha Blade, to get
Alpha Blade out of that
goes
setup,
for-
so
Gets out,
smart.
Gets it. That's not
Okay.
Even if he
over.
doesn't get the
Now
hit,
we're
at
back
least he's
into-
out of the
Oh,
corner.
gets it, oh, but no
No
conversion on
confirmation,
the.
and that's very dangerous as he has to spend meter to make them safe. Good jump out from Kazunoko. We return back in the neutral,
Ugh.
but 2H trade goes into Chipp's favor.
Love the mashing
Oh, wow,
defensive
great
2H
jump
to
from, Samito.
fish for a counter hit.
So
Hey, what
Samito
up,
is
Cheesy
the
Path?
Gets hit by the K.
Yes. Okay.
Uh, uh.
Oh, tries to go for a complicated combo.
Oh,
but-
overhead. Oh, gets
6K
back.
is too deep. Oh, man,
Oh,
Blade,
Beta
Blade,
Blade,
again.
Beta.
Little too many wake
Beta
up beta blades.
It's fine. He's going to do 2K YRC, yes. That's the thing, when you're low on health and Chipp has 25 meter, it can feel
Can
very
you imagine
hopeless.
how ludicrous it would look to
2K YRC,
see
one of the strongest
someone
options in the
dressed
game.
like Raven gliding at you so they could kick you in the fucking kneecap?
Right, so Kazunoko needs to be very careful with his movement not to get caught like this. Okay, and yeah, Broken Side is minus
Yeah,
7
Cheesy
on block.
Path. We're reviewing
can
Summit's
definitely take your
top 4 matches.
Okay, good zoning from Kazunoko. And Samito thinks his
Just
time to go
imagine fucking
invisible.
Batman gliding in
Kazunoko
at
feels
someone
uncomfortable
and then just being
goes
like,
into the
ha,
air.
I kicked you in
Oh
the
my
knee.
God, just the 4H.
Yep.
That technically beats your anti-air
Alright,
punch.
Oh no, that's late, that's late.
Yep.
Oh, that's actually not a real setup. He did that so late.
Right, Kazunoko with the blocks. Gets the scratch.
Yep. Gets the grab, gets a lot of
I feel like
gets the
Kazunoko has
ball.
realized that
Yeah,
if
the
he just
6P.
pushes buttons
No, that's
against
the
Chipp,
Dinago.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's gonna go. Sorry.
when
Okay, good
they're at
dash again,
equal
but
or
it's going- oh,
Raven
so
health
close,
advantage,
Kazunoko.
the trades will
But he
just
manages
generally
to
work
pick it up
out.
during the scramble in the corner. So slight burst
Yeah.
advantage for Kazunoko going into the very,
Damn,
very
if
last
Batman
round.
flew at me to
Both of
kick me in the
them
knee,
are
I'd
offense.
die
Oh,
of
and
shame
that's
on
a
the
throw, yes.
spot.
Gets the throw. Yes.
Double IB but screws up the combo.
And I'd be like, how did I not
so
anti-air
we return
that?
back in neutral and again Samito is
Yeah.
invisible.
What's he gonna be?
Oh,
Oh,
but
gets the
he-
knee
Shouts
drop.
Kazunoko for
And
blocking
still no
some
block
actual
from Samito.
ninja
It is
shit
back
there.
now, both sides
Find
reverse.
me again. Oh,
Okay,
with an
so
alpha.
Alpha Blade.
Alpha Blade. What's
Oh,
going on?
wow,
Oh,
very,
nice
very
Abari.
brave mash out from Kazunoko. We wanted for it. But both sides still stubbornly holding on to their burst.
Oh, yeah,
Nope.
Kazunoko gets the hit.
Yeah.
Samito finally gives
Samito
up his
forced the
burst.
burst first, but Samito's slow now.
Samito's slowed.
Oh, what
Oh,
a
not
grab.
anymore.
Oh, and
Right.
the delayed high.
What
Very,
up,
very
Danny?
difficult to block. So both
What if I
sides
6 feet Batman and he's just like,
Grab, grab.
upper body invuln is bullshit, just let me run my offense, you coward.
Gets the command grab, but it's not over yet. What's the mix-up gonna
What's
be?
the mix-up?
No!
Ah, the block!
Oh!
Rip our hero.
Kazunoko
It's okay. We're
loses.
just sending him to losers
Such a
so we
great
can watch
gameplay
more
coming from
Summit
him.
matches. That's what I said
Such good
when I saw the
adjustments
set
by
for the,
Kazunoko after the
live, and
first
I was
game.
like, well, shit.
And I have to say,
At least
that
we get to
very
watch
last combo that
more
he did,
Summit
it
this
showed
way.
that he definitely
Because
had
if he had
great
won,
awareness of
then
his
he would have
character,
just
so he definitely had some
then he would have
practice
just played in
because
winners
that
final
combo
or
that
in
he
grand
did
finals,
was really
and that'd be boring.
I
But
think-
instead, we get to see him
on
run
five,
through losers
goal.
bottom,
that's
losers
when you're playing
bottom
good.
4, or
Playing
whatever it is.
Chance to face
Alright,
Kazunoko
where are we
in
at?
the grand finals. I know Samito.
You have Shin round 1 at
So-
EGX. Awesome.
Yeah, it's time to see
That's
how-
fucking sick.
how
Have
he
fun,
adjusts
Jesus
from
Pat.
his regular playstyle and this coming into this match.
I mean, something that he can
Oh,
do
wait,
is
we
he
don't
can
need
just
this
simply
one.
advance
We
and
need
pick
losers
spin
final.
space.
after he took off the weight.
We don't
It
talk
is-
about that.
This is a fate in the
All right, so this is
Yeah, I
against
think that's-
one of the only biking players I've ever
Alright,
seen,
so
Shin.
going into it.
Yeah, I really like
straight
commentary
into the
couch
match.
over like
Okay,
desks
so,
and shit.
Oh wow, rising jump does get
Yeah.
the knockdown, but difficult to get a meteor off that. And Alpha Blade.
So I'm gonna preface this match by saying people have asked me, "Oh, is this a bad matchup for Chipp?" No. But there are two things that Chipp players like to do. We like to teleport, and we like to do jump attacks. And Baiken has good tools to deal with teleport because she could just throw Tatami out there, and if I teleport into it, then I'm a fucking idiot. What up, Madao? And if I jump in at her predictably, she can Azami it, right? So no, not a bad matchup, but Baiken definitely has some shit that can fuck
Wow,
Chipp up.
okay, so goes into
Goes
setup.
into the- yeah.
Just for
and
fun,
goes
let's see
into
where
IED.
Baiken's damage comes from. So that was counter hit to IED to
That's
Tommy.
like, that's like, oh no. and difficult to do on Chipp.
Goes for
apparently.
anti-air, doesn't get it.
Two
Oh,
hits,
gets
okay.
the
And Chipp will be doing a lot of jump 2K.
Nice
this
air
set because
throw.
he counters Azami. So watch out for that. I'm not sure how Shun will respond.
Woo!
Oh god.
This was- oh, that was
Counter
like-
hit was,
those
was
three
that
hits was like-
Sakura or
Samito tried
something?
to
I don't
kill the
remember.
Suzuran, but couldn't work.
Alright,
Okay,
those are
Alpha Blade
gonna
gets
get
in.
Alpha Blade down.
Woo!
Oh my god.
okay.
Difficult to do Gamma Blade
Azami.
DD, and Shun simply dives into the waiting arms of Samito.
That's really
But
how it
a
go,
great block on the
Kengo.
low there. Samito still relentless. Goes
Ooh,
to the
overhead.
icon.
Hell
Base
yeah.
burst.
Base the burst.
And this should be no.
Oh, he drops it.
Yeah, he dropped the combo
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Oh, and then he
Oh,
gets
no,
to
and
Tommy.
Overhead.
He might. Well, it's Chipp, but he won't die.
Shun's
Yeah,
Shun's
maybe
combos
Chipp
are really
is
good
still
too.
not gonna be enough.
Midi
He's still
Tatami.
gonna-
Oh.
he gets
Oh,
what
I
a
think.
heartbreak
Wait,
win.
did he fake that
Maybe
Midi
Chipp is
Tatami? So
still
he did. Oh, he did it way too late. This is interesting. So Summit sees the Tatami animation coming out. Probably doesn't necessarily realize the timing. Bike and land. Oh, so it did hit. That was actually just a really late Tatami. But then and so the Midi Tatami caught Summit, and then the low is what lets him finish the combo.
Oh, what a heartbreaker. And Samito actually tried to go for the easier version of that, but he didn't jump install his jump setting, so he could not get the double jump after jump K.
Oh, no.
All right, that's like three
cross
instances so far where
And goes for
Tatami
the
caused the
definitely
damage.
baiting low Azami, if you ask me. Okay, goes for the get
Oh,
over.
okay.
Oh,
Hey,
my
I like the
God.
air
So
throw.
aware, shouldn't. Oh, but
Gamma Blade.
anti-air.
Get that
Gamma Blade,
combo.
Rarity. Gets a decent
Gets
chunk
the
of damage.
decent chunk of
Find
damage,
me.
yeah.
Oh, and again,
Teleport air
teleport into the
throw.
ground. Where is he?
Yeah,
Nobody
Shun
knows
looking super
except
low.
himself.
You can't find.
And
Oh, gets
no,
Azami.
Azami from Shun, what a hard read. Alright, gets
Starts
Suzuran
that
goes
one
on
off
the
for the
other side, and
low.
the kick
Gets the
goes
kick
into
into the
TK
Rodan
Yodan.
Sen.
Again, Tatami Gaishi buying a lot of space, but this should
Yeah,
be
this
it
should be it.
for Samito getting the
Samito
brown
takes
stealing combo.
takes back the round. Now they're both tied with 1 round apiece. Who's gonna take the first game in this set?
Okay, well, counter hit. Oh my
Azami
goodness,
again.
Yep.
Gets the
I-
conversion.
Look at that
Oh.
damage!
That cost no meter,
Well, a
and
very
now he's at
cool
almost
70% of
he's
it.
at almost
Thank you very
half.
much. Alpha Blade to get out of the
Off of
I
one.
really like the escape alpha
And
blades.
Samito trying to be evasive here, manages to get it, but yes, you can't get.
Sarv is great
no,
because
no,
you know how it
no, it's not a
ends.
counter.
Oh, there's
Samito
another
trying to
Azami.
be
Let's see
evasive
that
here,
one
manages to
again.
get it, but yes, you can't get.
Woo!
Oh, no,
Get
counter.
stabbed.
No, it's not a counter.
Yeah, alright. It's just a reversal.
Yeah, but Shun is the one with the frame advantage. Shun is the one
Opened
with
up
the knockdown.
with
Gets the
2K.
cross-up jump as block.
Oh.
Tatami YRC
And
doesn't get
again,
anything off it.
defensive
Gets
jump
Tatami,
hit.
he's
Oh,
thrown.
no. I bet Samito thought that wasn't
Tatami,
even for the
oh.
throw.
Oh, but he goes. Oh, he caught it.
Yeah, Chipp just
Right,
kind of
so first
explodes
round
like
goes
that.
to Shun.
Yep.
And the thing is, every
Series
Chipp
of
player
events.
knows that it can
Oh.
happen to them.
Very
Samito in the last
unfortunate.
hour.
Samito not looking too happy about that.
Chip is basically the Guilty Gear equivalent of riding a motorcycle.
He might want to burst
And
it
you
again.
just know
And
that
Shun
you're gonna
very
get
aware
fucked
he
up
goes
and
for a
die
burst safe route.
sometimes.
Yeah, but
Oh,
Like
oh,
from a
cross-up
stupid ass
under-air.
Tatami matter, you can't even see. Can we take a look at that again?
Oh,
Alright,
oh,
damage
oh,
coming
oh,
from
oh,
Azami.
Okay, and Shun very aware goes for a burst safe route.
Then hits the
Yeah,
counter hit
but-
Tatami.
oh,
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 into the
oh,
corner
oh,
hit
oh,
combo.
oh, oh,
First,
You have to
okay.
burst. Yeah. That's way too much damage to be taking in the first 10
I mean, he
seconds.
took so much damage.
Into
even
another
when he-
Tatami.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and-
Into
oh,
another
Tatami
Tatami.
calls
Another
out the
counter hit
Tatami.
Tatami.
Can he get this confirmed? Oh, he gets the stun! Oh my goodness.
I think
Chipp.
I've made my point here, right?
Alright, so Samito choosing to be more.
This is what I
for a
think
while,
is
okay?
is the
Gets,
challenging part about
damage
playing
into
Biken.
the-
I don't know how
Biken,
matchup specific this is or
And,
what,
I mean, Shun
but
going for a very
I feel
low
like
Samito jump
90% of
Azami
Biken's
that
damage
can do
either
very
comes
high
from
damage.
Azami
Oh,
or
and good
Tatami.
delayed,
And you just
overhead
have to
using
do
the dash.
enough of the other things to make those two things
Oh,
work.
Oh, this,
that's
yeah,
a
this
nice-
is
oh
huge.
my
Or you could just do that over and over. Let's see how Chip died.
And I mean, Shun going for a very low committal jump Azami that can lead
Alright,
to very
Summit's
high
looking
damage.
pretty good.
Oh, and good
Burst.
delayed, overhead using the air dash.
Counter hit buttons, okay. Oh, counter hit Midi
Tatami
Tatami.
again.
Oh,
Oh, this-
that's
yeah,
a
you're
nice-
fucking dead,
oh
boy.
my
It's huge.
Midi Tatami.
Okay,
Oh,
no,
baits the
yeah,
dead
bigger,
angle.
but difficult to punish. Goes into the air with DK Yoda.
That was
Oh,
hilarious.
I see.
I wonder if he knew that was gonna dizzy.
You don't even need to use it.
Hey, what up, Yuzu? What up, Kung Fu?
Gosh.
That's what I like to call big damage.
That second match went by. Samito should have.
Of course, Summit
Yeah,
as a
yes,
G
you should've gone back
and
to
just
this, like, I'm
fucking
worried- oh, no,
mashes
Samito should've,
in to rematch. Before they have even changed the camera, the stream layout back, we get to see Chip
back,
dying
yes,
in
you
like
should've gone back to
fucking
this.
picture
I'm
in
always,
picture
an advocate
because
of
he
going
fucking
back to
eats
Well, the
Azami.
entire Kuchinashi forced Samito to burst, and Yoda Sen is blocked by Samito.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
we're
but
still.
Woo.
Samito manages to get.
Oh,
Oh, no!
Another
Oh, no,
Azami.
the teleport. Yes. Okay, but that's the OTG move and can get a punish. Gets the throw. So cautious of the Azami. Goes for the Gen roll, but will not work. And both sides return
Good
back
mobility, just staying a little bit out of reach.
It's
Hard to start an offense from there, though. I think he's just looking for an opening. This is a neat blitz.
Right decision after right decision.
Yeah,
blocks the
why the
blitz.
fuck not?
Everything is going right for this man.
Hell yeah,
Can he
Aloha.
even be
They're all
stopped right
sick.
now?
Except Leo. Fuck Leo.
Everything's going right for him.
Alright, so Samito chooses to go invisible.
Woo!
Gets the 2H.
Alright, and finally Samito manages to get something going.
Yep.
Alright, oh my god.
Alright,
Nice.
Summit's on the
Azami
fucking
on
ropes
good
here.
link.
Ooh, sick conversion.
Counter hit, pro slash linked into the 5P.
Hey.
Alright, and what can he do here? Oh, he does.
So he faked the overhead, which is hilarious to me.
Yep.
He hasn't even gone. So this was the overhead setup that we saw in the beginning, right? Like
Counter hit,
run up. So after the wall alpha in the corner, you get
Close slash
SH ID punch into JD. That part differs depending on the character weights and blah 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 blah. Land, run up, Resho,
what can he do here? Oh,
and then instead of the overhead off of Resho, he walks in probably for a throw OS. I think if he got a whiffed close slash, he probably went for the like a 6 SH to option select throw and close slash. And that gets Biken to run away in spend meter, which is pretty good. And he gets the counter hit 2H because fuck it, why not? Now he uses Ryunagi and fucking dunks on her. That's awesome. But I fucking love that he didn't go for the overhead there. Again, he hasn't gone for it on Shun yet. So either Shun already knows that he does this, and so he wanted to start on layer 2, or he just assumed that Shun would have taken note of that setup.
The comeback.
Okay.
That he would have taken note of that setup because he fucking saw him do it to Kazunoko. Guilty Gear is so good, y'all. So Irene and I just rewatched the Kenshin Shishio arc. That show is fucking godlike. But the recurring theme, right, was like, oh, because samurai, like you fight on the battlefield and you die. So you only need to get your mix-up only needs to work once, right? And as long as it works the first time, you are fine. And if you try and go for it a second time, you are fucked because the good samurai can see it once and know how to defend it, right? Summit's like, I know you saw that mix up, so I'm gonna go for layer 2, even though you weren't the one I was fighting. God, I love it. Anime, fighting games, so great. Fuck your Izami, get Genroed.
Okay, respects.
JD, cause fuck it, why not?
For the jump H.
Oh, gets caught. I thought he was gonna burst there just because he wanted to stay in that
At
ass.
this point.
Samito, okay, just goes for the red card. Oh,
All right,
okay, but
that was
wait,
cute.
he jumped and saw that? How? That doesn't even make sense.
See, yeah, there we go. He went for the same thing, and it was the throw. Also, just to point out, since the commentator mentioned this, so here he gets Azami. The 6P gets Azami. Yes, Arc Revo is at UC Irvine. There's a last chance qualifier tournament before the finals. So the finals are on Sunday. Last chance qualifiers on Saturday. Go to the website and see if you can sign up if you want to sign up because it's open, but it's there's an attendance cap. Anyway, Chipp presses 6P and it gets Azami'd. Now, in this state, Chipp can go into other things, right? So what he does is he goes into 2H, which counter hits Biken out of the Azami stance, which is fucking hilarious, right? Let's see that again.
He couldn't get a combo.
And
He needed that at this point.
Samito, okay, just goes for the red card. Oh,
Woo! So he gets that 2H, which counter hits. Fucking genius. Gets his extension off of it. And the commentator points out Summit actually has done this enough that he knew to go for the jump install. So the way jump install works, I feel like I'm pretty sure Summit qualified. So at the very least, there should be him going to Arc Revo. Anyway, the way jump install works is you jump cancel a normal lead like earlier on in your combo. And when you end up in the air later in your combo, like if you teleported in the air, normally teleport doesn't give you any air actions, but because you jump canceled earlier in the combo, the game thinks you have air options, right? That's how it works. And Summit had his 6P countered pressed up to jump cancel it before going into 2D. Now, this is probably the string that he was going to do on hit or block anyway. It just cracks me up that he managed to get the 6P and still convert off the counter hit, which, by the way, the conversion off the counter hit 2H is different than the non-counter hit version.
Doesn't even make sense. Oh,
Summit, why are you so fucking smart? Jesus Christ. I think Peppery Splash was the last person to qualify. Originally would have been Bears, but because Bears has been injured for so long, I think Pep gets the spot.
And he manages to steal back the 2 rounds.
I think what Samito did is he did the jump in.
I don't actually know if that's how it worked out, though.
And he had the awareness to know that.
Oh.
And that was what got him with pretty much the game-winning combo. Okay, and Shun favoring the Azami.
Grab again.
Yes. Okay,
Oh,
Alpha
the Alpha Plus gets countered.
An insane amount there.
You have to, but
That was
that.
3
Did
hits.
they qualify? I don't know. But I do believe there's an easy way to check this. I don't know if Daemendo, let's see, what did he win? Like NorCal Regionals, I think. I don't know if that would have gotten him enough. Arc Revo 2019 qualifiers. Yeah. I will see y'all there at UCI, y'all. Yeah, Irvine is pretty far. All right. What do we got here? Registration, blah, 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 blah. All right. Let's see what Rev 2 looks like. Oh, wait. This might be the last chance qualifier. Oh, pre-qualified players. No. What the fuck? Why do you not have useful information? Come on. All right. Well. Son of a bitch. We're just going to Google this. Arc Revo 2018 Guilty Gear qualifiers. I hate how hard it is to find this shit. Alright, no. Arc system works. I'm going to give this 30 more seconds, and if I can't find it in 30 seconds, then we're just going to fucking chill. Yeah, Smash GG is so bad, but so useful. It's just really bad. All right, I'm done. That was 30 seconds. A bunch of very strong players qualified. Maybe Demendo's going, maybe he's not. I don't fucking know. Tight, Raise Rob. This is the 2019-18. Great. So we got the winner of here. Yeah, so this will give us some stuff, but the thing is that Demendo didn't win any of the main events, so if he qualified, it would have been off of points, and I don't think that happened. Sweet. Anything? Anyway, I think it's either Pep or Hotashi maybe getting the last spot.
The grant plus the reset is gonna be just standing.
All right, Fishy, what you got? Shenzo. I don't know Shenzo. Takahata. Yeah. So the important thing is that Summit qualified, and so we're going to see some good ass Chipp. Right. Yeah. This is what I was looking for. Right. It's all these lists after here. I feel like because Teresa won some stuff, he's probably fine. But whatever. I don't really care. We'll see who's there. The important thing is our boy Summit's there, which means we got some fucking Chipp in the tournament or the tour finals. Hell yeah.
Oh, just runs up all the way and throws him. Lazami no instead shouldn't choose to attack. Yes, the counter hit, but
I really like this. I need to start doing more of this. So people often just grow to expect that Chipp is going to run in at you at around the same time, after, you know, to get a meaty for a knockdown or whatever. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good Rams out there, and honestly, like, just finding your average ass Ram player is probably a good place to start. Anyway, Chipp goes in. He's got his knockdown. You would expect Chipp to do literally anything here, right? So Shun is ready. He's ready for the counter. He's ready for the throw. Yeah, go to keep on rocking. That's the best place to look. Oh, and there's also a Mikado search filter, so you can search through Mikado videos and just all the links are time coded. I think it's at insubstantial. Yeah. Here you go. Use this for character search. Congratulations. You just gold mined your RAM footage. Anyway, so everyone who blocks Chipp is used to Chipp running in or jumping in or doing something. So Summit just chills and goes in a little bit later so that he can go for what was almost certainly a throw attempt. I love it. I love it. So simple. Just they're going to assume that you're going to do something and they're going to have to block it. And also this way he gets to throw the counter, right? In case Baiken went for Azami, but he doesn't have to commit to something like Genrozan, the leaf throw, which is way easier to react to than just running in a little bit later.
But Samito doesn't want to overextend himself.
Yeah, gets the counter hit jump Ds. Shun forced to burst.
Okay, and Shun also being a rather...
Shun is playing way more passively right now.
And this should be the
Get
kill.
him, homie.
Yeah.
Yes, PK.
Probably lost confidence after that game was stolen from him. But he can't let that get to him because he just needs to win one more.
It's when he was playing with that relentless onslaught that he was able to. Oh, and
when
that's a very
hey, 6P.
error.
Genro gets reacted to
if you
again.
escape the Genro like that, you can get air thrown. Good bait and good, extremely optimal combo.
He's got the really good extension there. Did I watch all this live? Yeah. I actually had some friends over to play Guilty Gear for like 10 hours before all this, and then we watched it live.
Yeah, so
we had a lot of Guilty Gear in our Saturday.
Okay. But he does have a lot of meter available, so Samito
nice
chooses
dead
to go
angle.
for okay.
Goes into the PRC.
Almost teleported into another mat.
Instead, Samito goes low and Shun surprised by that. Burst. Samito also still has burst available. Jump H into Yo.
That was sick.
Good link.
What the fuck? Summit, why do you know that this works? Look at that.
Into
has to block not one but two Yozan-sens, then gets the counter hit slash into a re-jump combo.
Oh, good link from Samito. Can he get the kill on this?
This is not gonna be enough.
Yes, he can.
And then
he can kill.
he absolutely can get the kill off that. Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness.
God, and there's the comeback.
Summit, why are you so
2-0
smart?
down, and now we're looking at 2 games apiece for both sides.
In a flash, Samito catches up.
Yep. Sarv knows what's up.
That's what you expect from the Hokage.
Especially if Summit is the most Chipp you watch, right? And like I get it. If you don't play a character, it can often be hard to see what differentiates an okay player from that character and a really good player of that character. Sarv and I are watching this and we're like, we are still 1,000 years too early.
Yeah, top class Guilty Gear right here, my friends. Oh, and goes for the command grab, but yep. Shun may just get a punish, but couldn't get the hard read.
Oh, Shun is
that was a hard read
right
from
now.
Samito.
Yeah, sick with the burst
Can he
baits.
get a knockdown? He can. What will he do? Chooses to do nothing again. 6P, 6H, IAD into the corner combo. Great combo awareness.
Goes into the high.
Jump installs the teleport into the high. Gets the 6H, gets the combo.
Exactly infinite.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, what a
Just
dominating
like that.
showing.
Just like that. Samito is on match point instead.
Yeah. Staring down.
But to me, when I watch Omito play Johnny, I'm like, look at this fucking scrubby ass character.
The barrel of the gun, he turns it the other way.
Yeah, Shun looking to be in a pretty bad spot right now. He needs to make something happen immediately.
Oh, but okay, manages to get the Genro. M base the DP.
Yeah.
And
okay.
oh
Could
my
this
god,
be what he needed?
that was 4 hits!
Samito bursts instantly.
No, he didn't really burst instantly. He burst after he lost 60%.
Yeah. I mean, it was still instantly in terms of time. But that was just how short of a time it took for him to lose that much life.
It's hard to tell why Daemendo does what the... Absolutely. Are you fucking kidding me? When that dude said he was plus on Wake Up, he wasn't lying. No. He is absolutely plus on Wake Up.
Yeah, insane. Okay, so this time he gets the setup. Yeah, he can go low.
Goes for the dust, but he hits in the air.
Okay,
gets a 2HS counter hit.
And to be clear, Daemendo is plus on Wake Up because he gets you asking questions like, why is he doing what he's doing? While he's fucking doing it, and then as soon as you think that, that's when you get counter hit pile bunkered. Anyway,
But an unbelievable comeback.
Chipp Summit with the unbelievable comeback.
Snatching chance to get the
After
run
that,
back
we
with
got.
Cosmos after he took off the
Oh wait,
wing.
that was.
We don't talk
It's-
about let's see what changes.
Ah, here's the run
Good
back.
bait and good extreme. Nothing against 6P.
Unfortunately, he couldn't carry on all the way to the end of the set.
Is this a button check? Yes, it is.
Yep.
All right, we got the button check.
A bit up to me for Samito.
Oh, yeah.
No goal.
Punch it.
They go. Back up. No
Go.
Alright, so
Me
let's
in
see
there.
what changes we have this time around. Opening
Take us
the
home,
Gamma
baby.
Gamma Blade.
And DK Alpha Vegas entire by 5k for a great chunk of damage. 2
Woo!
hits all goes into the grab.
NDA grab, but it was just too
So remember, this first set
and,
against the,
yes,
between
good
these two is
instant
close.
block, by Samito and aware that there's a low goes for the low. And yep, good from. Oh wow, look at it. Look at
Woo!
how all by
Climb to the top of the stage.
Oh no, gets the 2H counter here.
God bless the
And
2H.
I think that's already
Fuck,
the signs
gonna
of
press
a
2H
great
right now.
addition from Samito.
Yep, looking a lot better than. Oh, but he narrowly dodges.
Okay, and the jump cage, yes.
Just the low.
There's one of the things about Raven, unlike other
Oh,
Gilligan
he went
players,
for wake up
even if
Zanse
you block
there.
his end almost like that in the air, he still
But because he didn't
lasts
spend the
too long
burst,
when
he got
he's
hit.
ground, so he can't throw him.
Pressing
Okay, and we go
buttons
into
though
the MVC
gets out of
setup,
the,
but
gets out of the
Didn't
corner.
work because Raven has a slow wake up time.
I've got to say, for all y'all who are like, man, this makes me feel better about getting my glide 6P'd. Watching Summit drop some of his Oki shit or like fuck up his jump installs is like super relatable. There's a lot of things where like I'd watch high level play at like 2 years ago, and I'd be like, wow, I just can't imagine why they're doing some of these things. And now when I watch it, I'm like, oh, he dropped the thing he really meant to do, which was this, right? It's just learning how a lot of this shit works and trying to do it yourself. There's a lot to demystify high level play and help you appreciate the parts that are actually appreciable.
Oh yes, that's another thing about
Yes.
characters in this game. They have different wake up timings.
Woo!
So Alpha
Again
goes
with the
to
alpha of
Marcy,
wire
oh,
C
look
to
at
get
that
out.
top.
Doesn't work
He
though.
wants to do it and he will.
He will. What he wants to do will be done. Right.
Okay,
All
and again,
right.
and that's another thing
There's
that's
that
Samito's
the
been having
glide
problems,
JK again.
For a while now,
Ugh.
able to
Look at that fucking shit.
Samito's been having problems,
Wake up DP clashes with, I think that's 2P. So he's just
for a while
FDs.
now,
He's like, nah,
not
fuck it.
able
I'm
to
a gold burst out. I
consistently
got my
attack
meter
glide.
now. Thank you.
Okay, gets the
Hell yeah,
50
Shengon.
meters
What's
goes for
up?
the setup, gets
Yeah,
it.
gets it.
Okay, and Gamma Blade will get Raven, and he wants
Woo.
to knock down here. He wants to mix up. Okay. And
Fire C
oh,
Gamma Blade.
God,
But
which
this
side
is-
did I even kill? I
Here's the
don't know.
gimmick that only works once, so if he does okay. And
Another good thing
Gamma
here,
Blade will
right?
get
So he gets
Raven,
this
and he wants to
knockdown.
knock down
Find me
here, he wants
into run up wire C Gamma, right?
to mix
Normally, this wire C Gamma is pretty easy to block once you're used to Chipp doing that, right? So the way this works is that most of the time when Chipp does that, he will teleport over you over here, and then the block push from Gamma Blade happens, and it pushes you under him so that he lands on the same side that he started. So if you try and block it as a cross up, that'll actually fuck you up, right? Again, it's the kind of thing which if a player can easily see what's going on, right? Like he can easily like check Chipp to see what he's doing, you're probably going to block it. But because Find Me is in effect here, it's just a little bit harder to see what's going on.
And
Oh
yes.
my
Yo,
God.
Shengon,
Which
that's
side did I even kill?
awesome.
I
Here's the
don't know.
gimmick that only works once, so if he does Gamma Blade
Oh, fuck. I forgot about
Bro, which
this.
side did I
All right, so he goes for the
Yeah.
standard JD in the corner wall alpha, uncling
so
alpha,
if he
and then he does instant air dash from where he landed. He doesn't run up at all. Instant air dash. When he on his way down, he hits JS, which just barely bumps him up to clip Ravens so that he can keep going in.
But
I
it's
see.
always the same side. So
always-
And again, one of those mix-ups that just gets like 5% more effective because he can find me.
3 wire seats in a row.
two
Oh,
ends
another
confirm
one,
is
yeah.
2 hits outstanding, so that's okay for Samito. Samito goes for the 2-2K.
Narrowly
very
manages to
Oh my
fail to
goodness,
punish.
Shin Kiro and oh, Alpha Blade without fear. The man without fear.
And without fear. Right, so now they're both 1 round apiece.
Yeah, 6P win, so
Cosmo gets the
Cosmo
first
capitalizes.
Oh,
I know, right?
wow.
Oh, drops his Alpha Blade combo
Samito
there.
with the
He
PK,
would have
Alpha
gotten
Blade,
a
and
really
Alpha Blade.
nice meterless extension off
Alright,
of
recess
there.
pressure, Ibarasi.
Yeah, block
Gets the
everything.
funny
That
jump.
gets hit mid
But-
air.
That's Summit, man. Like even knowing that
Oh, and this
Oh,
time,
you
yes.
might drop that shit, he still goes for it, and that's what
Oh my
makes
God,
him the
that's a
fucking
lot of
best.
damage.
That's a lot of
Look at that
damage.
fucking damage.
Okay,
Holy
and over the
shit.
edge combo.
Oh, run up
Okay.
6P again.
Oh, what a hard read from Samito. Gets the stun.
Yeah,
Gets the
it's-
kill.
Doesn't even let the
So
dizzy
it's the
rock. He's
first
just like,
game.
nah, I want to finish this.
So
Yeah,
I
Summit
really feel
fucking
like for this set, it's
murdered
almost going to
Kazunoko's
be
air
determined by
dashes
how many
in that
times
last
grind
set.
works compared to how often it's anti-air.
yes, that's true.
Oh, and look at
Yep,
it, the trick, but
yeah, break. Oh, but it
Samito
doesn't manage
just a bit
to
slow.
capitalize. Yep.
okay,
Nice.
choosing the option that keeps Kazunoko in the corner both times on his mix-ups. Very-
Starsky asks, do you get any time shaved off of recovery from wall alpha to the ground into teleport? So when you do wall alpha, as in like the one which actually lands you on the ground, not uncling alpha, when you do that, you pretty much have to hold the rest of that recovery. I don't think you can cancel out of it into anything. So if you're teleporting once that animation is over. I don't think you're able to cancel it.
Very respectable. Goes to the
Oh,
pit.
blocks the
There is
overhead.
okay,
Instant
that's a very
block
cheap
away.
punish though. Oh, but what a
Woo.
read.
Not allowed. Not allowed to blitz. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Again, Summit
wow,
being
that
super
shit
consistent
everywhere.
with getting that big
That's the
damage
AP field
combo.
for you.
Very weird.
I'm gonna rewind a little bit.
That's a very cheap punish though.
I want to see that
Oh,
combo
but
again.
what a
Hell
read.
yeah.
Not allowed. Not allowed.
Catches the 6P into the 2H.
Oh, okay.
Gets the kick, 3 slashes into the DP. Look at that. Regular Chipp players might get that 6P, but not all Chipp players would then get that full damage combo. And that's the difference. I said this before, but that's the difference between Summit and other Chipps, is that he's almost always going for and getting the big damage. Hey, what
Oh,
happened?
wow.
This is Marker Light. Thank you for the
That's the
follow,
AP
home, and
field
welcome
for
to the
you.
crew.
Very weird interaction, but
Okay, so
Got the
Samito
hit.
just trying to get. Oh, but very ill advised. The Shuriken teleport will be edge thrown. Okay, and Samito.
Peace
not
out,
willing to
noob. Thanks for
overextend
coming
just
through.
yet. Gamma blade, but in a safe distance.
Real quick, I want to mention this because I remembered
And
taking note of it
Teleport will
before.
be
Yeah,
edge
this is Southeast Asia Major Spot. Summit gets away with his wake up backdash out of the ball into immediate air backdash because he knows Raven's going to follow it up multiple times. And like, this is one of the most valuable techniques that Summit shows in this this set. I mean, it's not fancy, right? But one, he does the wake up backdash so that he doesn't have to spend anything to get to deal with his ball pressure. But then knowing that that Chipp's backdash is bad, he has to immediately air dash back. He knows this. He knows that if he wants to clear whatever Raven's going to do, he has to not just retreat once, but twice.
Okay, and Samito not willing to overextend just yet. Gamma blade, but in a safe
Oh,
distance.
Gamma trade.
Is that the answer?
Goes for the overhead, but he had meter to cancel it. Oh, that's so smart. And he doesn't just go for like 1 or 2 hits. He gets 4 high hits there. Kazunoko has to actually block all of those.
Got him through the 2P. Wow.
Kazunoko.
And Samito should have become a scrub and mash harder. And then when I eventually got
In
him that
that
round.
moment, if he had been a scrub, he would have won that situation.
Okay,
He's
it's
too good
defensive,
for
triple
his
jump.
own
Oh, nice
Good
air
block,
throw.
good
Gets the
air
grab.
throw. Go slow, good blocks from Kazunoko. Oh, and wow.
Oh,
and,
but gets the
Yep, I mean Kazunoko should have been able to.
That's a lot of
air throw that, but it was
damage off a
difficult.
relatively small mistake. He could have FD'd and
Alright,
he would have been
Gamma blade, free
fine.
reset, base the
Oh,
dead
no,
angle.
base the dead
Dead
angle.
angle
Yes,
gets
what-
baited,
What kind of
nice.
setup would this be? Oh, just teleport on the spot.
Oh,
Make
again
the
with
team
just
going
the
somewhere
real
else.
good
No,
damage
you can't do that.
conversions.
Oh,
Pressing some buttons. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and Samito should have cut shot one.
It's a real
jump
ninja
S
shit.
to make the combo more stable. Because that combo does work, but it's difficult and based on how quickly you input the jump S's.
Again,
So it's-
this is
that
one of those
combo does
scenarios
work,
where
but
if
it's
I end
difficult
up in this situation and I see him FDing and I'm smart enough to go, I'm going to land in 5P, I would not convert that 5P immediately into 2H. I would probably get like 5P and then another 5P and then jump cancel into some wimpy combo that doesn't do shit, doesn't give me good Oki. But no, Summit says, fuck you. I know this is going to work. I know you're out of meter. Eat
How
this
quickly you
2H
input
into
the
this
jump
full,
S's,
well, he
so
drops
it's
it, but you
advisable
know,
to cut out one.
he's still cool as hell.
Right, so Kazunoko gets the air grab, goes for the double scratch. So
Okay, and yeah, Samito
Go
just
ball,
wants to get
Samito,
out
yeah,
to it.
triple
Jump
jump.
D, runs forward, grabs him, puts him back in the corner, goes for a low. And Kazunoko
Oh yeah,
respecting that this
absolutely
is
crooked
no
tricking.
burst? Really?
Also Johnny.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Kazunoko accepts that. And then gets hit by the shimmy to the throw. And then shimmy to the no, but Kazunoko says, screw that.
yeah, I'm just gonna super.
I guess it is pretty great that you have an American
That's
ninja
awesome.
and a
It
Japanese
shows not how much
pirate.
damage. Have you ever otherwise right
Yeah.
RC on the Alpha Plus?
Still a lot of damage though.
Yep, and good movements coming out from Samito. Runs in all the way for the grab again.
Ooh, I think he did it
And
again
much
there.
damage. Has there been otherwise right RC on the Alpha Plus?
Still a lot of
Look at that. That was 2 instant air backdashes before he gets the fuck out of there.
Yep, and good movements coming from Samito. Runs in all the way for the grab again. And remember, close slash is not too unblocked.
Run up throw from half screen.
And goes for the cross up.
A really nice corner cross up there at the end.
Samito's the one that finds himself up 2-0.
Yes, Samito is 2-0 right.
Summit is motivated.
Final. 1 game away from resetting the bracket, but remember guys, Samito is in losers final.
Yes.
He's on loser side, so
6P gets stuffed
after
again.
He wins this one, he still needs to beat Kazunoko another 3 times.
But remember that Guilty Gear is a very, very unpredictable game, so
That's true.
don't think that Samito has said it just here. He has his work cut out for him. So, alright, good setup.
My god.
Alright, and this time, 6P does work. And it'll be difficult to get the Alpha Blade here, so he chooses not to do it. And again, anti-air Alpha Blade, anti-air Gamma Blades, anti-air if anything except your anti-air.
Yeah.
Oh, wake up, Zansei. First Zansei. I love it.
Sayonara! See you in the next round! Oh my god, what a statement from Samito, I'm tired!
Samito with
Look,
the
Summit spent
anti-air extinction
2
stun.
whole games not doing that shit. You gotta remind him it exists for a reason.
Oh, and yeah, difficult to contest that because close slash is 4 frames. Oh, and relentless pressure coming out here.
And honestly, my favorite part of Wake Up Burst Zansei is if somebody did it because they wanted to bait the DP and make the DP whiff, they're going to jump back or they're going to backdash. And I think Burst Zansei will probably catch or at least mix up both of those options. God bless.
And it's the... Okay.
Oh, block the go burst.
Yes. Alright, so Kazunoko can get this. Alright,
Oh,
and
he gets
6P
me.
does work this time.
Yeah,
And yeah, the May clothesline was excellent.
There still needs to be 1 more hit. Kazunoko gets the slow needle YRC.
But meter advantage definitely for Chipp.
Summit is
And
getting
everybody
so
can
many
get
alpha
Alpha
blades.
Blade
Holy
with,
shit.
Full allowance.
It's like a weird
Is that the phrase?
defensive poke
Allowance.
or counter
Yeah,
poke, I guess.
Kazunoko no, I think he got 2,
Alright,
2 or
alright.
3. Yeah, he did get a few, but unfortunately he couldn't close out.
Hey,
Already
Viet
forced,
Duong,
already forced
thank you
him.
so
And
much
Samito
for the
gets
follow,
sliced up
homie.
into
Welcome
a very,
to
very
the
damaging
Yeah.
combo.
I think Samito doesn't mind.
Yes,
taking the burst.
one setup, goes low again. And goes for Gamma Blade, goes for
Goes
the
for the
dust.
dust, gets
It's not
blocked.
some block.
Oh,
Blocks the combo
no.
and gets reset. And this is the, oh wow, great block from
Oh.
Kazunoko. But yep, that's what we were talking
Alright.
The combo
No.
and gets
I think I've called this out before on stream, but it's still a worthwhile
Reset,
note.
and
So he
this
goes
is
for the mix-up, 2D, and then he goes for Rusho, and it gets IB'd. When you see, as a Chipp player, when you see someone IBing this thing, you're thinking, oh, this motherfucker wants to press a button. I bet he does. So you go for the low follow-up as fast as
wow,
possible
great.
so that you can catch them with this. And that's when you get the counter hit, and that's when you start teaching them, hey, don't press buttons against Chipp.
block from Kazunoko. But yep, that's what we were talking
And then the
about.
overhead is
He
free
gets the next
extension.
1P after
Sure,
blocking,
use your burst,
the
whatever,
first
homie.
mecha.
Oh,
We teleport
And yeah, you wanna
6Ping.
get this? Yes,
We're getting
gets
that
the knockdown,
extension.
goes
Oh.
low, goes into
Another,
pressure,
like,
keeps doing the
Summit has,
Keep setting
at
his
this
eyes on
point,
fire.
trained me to think of the overhead after the empty Rekka comes. And he has defied that expectation every time except the first time. He's either gone for the throw or then the meaty 2D.
like, probably or
Fuck.
yes.
He just does it once to get you scared of it, and then he only uses it that one time. It's fucking
Gets
hilarious.
the ball, and will he go high or low? Goes into nothing. Oh,
Oh no, yeah, but he gets
Yep.
in the corner. Oh, what is he doing?
Oh, he could have confirmed of that, yes.
Yep. No, he gets the 6P into the side swap.
Alright, gets the knockdown, and teleport
Oh,
behind him.
wow.
Finally super
The
ahead.
knee drop. Yep. You got all the time in the world to see that after you
Yeah, okay, so this time better adjustment. Gets the combo, but yep, difficult to land this follow up. It is very, very finicky.
grab.
Okay, and oh
What's he
wow,
gonna be this
able to
time?
jump out. Okay.
Oh, tries to hit him out. Yeah,
Okay,
doesn't
and
get
hold.
anything. Yeah.
So
Ooh,
time
again
down,
with a
this time,
clutch
6P works, but
Ah,
he
misses
tries to
the
make
air
burst.
throw
It was a hurry,
tech
and
trap attempt.
Kazunoko, very, very known for his Yomi.
Ooh,
Oh!
gets caught with his own wake up burst
He
super.
gets us.
Alright, we
We're
already
going
see
there.
that.
We going into the next round.
Hell yeah, cricket tricking, that's what's up.
Oh,
Remember the
Oh,
bracket
God.
has already been reset.
yes.
Alright, so sweep good for... that's an auto block by the way. If you do a forward jump.
Sorry, what?
That's an auto block on
Woo.
the setup. If you do a forward jump, so...
Oh, okay.
So there was actually no mix up
God damn, look at that big damage.
Oh.
Yep, okay, so 6 H
Yeah,
Alright, and-
Kazunoko already losing so
Yeah.
much of his life.
It really
One of the
does.
weaknesses of Raven is it's difficult for him to combo. Oh god, that's gonna be an air grab for
Yep.
Samito. Yes, you have to preemptively air grab General down to punish it.
Gets the corkscrew into the combo.
And goes into some
Oh.
Double
Let's
overhead.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that was a legit new Beyblade setup I've never seen, or if he fucked up the old Beyblade setup, but has fucked it up so many times that he knew that there's another one that you can do.
Then at each of
So
these
good.
each of these junctures in between games, Kazunoko is not taking any time.
But good series for Kazunoko right now. Or even the
Right now, it's all yes.
that was
But
the ill
looks like
advice.
he doesn't need it.
Remember that Samito does have kind of a
Yeah,
bad
good
habit of
stuff.
bursting at inopportune times. Even if he is one of the best players in the world.
Yep, everybody has their bad habits.
Yes.
Woo,
Good
the late
blitz.
blitz,
That
so
is
good.
underside the bait blitz,
So
but
fucking
Kazunoko
good.
declines
Why are you
the
so
blitz.
smart?
Alright, and about to set up, goes for the high.
Goes
but
to the high
Kazunoko
and
is
then
always
4
getting hit by
other
that.
highs.
Not aware, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's just couldn't react to that.
Okay, but this is going to be a block string and yep, nothing that Kazunoko can do about it. He has to take it.
Oh, no.
Plus it's available and
Yep,
Samito
he
tried to
has-
bait it. Okay,
to
goes to
burst
the side,
though.
goes into
Oh,
YRC,
slowing the YRC.
keeps the block string going. Good Abari coming up, right?
Woo!
Gets the throw. He won't die, he is another one, but instead he gets it. Where's the burst?
Why don't you press the button? Oh, finally he comes.
And
Just when
that's
Samito wants to
so
pick it up,
good.
he gets kicked in the face.
So real quick,
Finally.
y'all have probably seen this YRC in neutral before, and some people will ask why. I actually didn't really appreciate. Hey, peace out, Starsky. I didn't really appreciate how good YRC is. Just doing YRC in neutral is, but basically what Chipp is doing here, what Sum is doing here by just throwing this RC out is he's slowing Raven down, right? Because YRC causes slowdown. Causes opponent slowdown, even if Chipp didn't actually YRC an attack or whatever. Now Raven's just gonna have a hard time running away. He's gonna have a hard time getting off the ground. All his buttons are gonna be slower because he's in YRC slowdown. Chipp can run in with whatever the fuck he wants, and it just happens to be 6K and it works.
Just when Samito wants to pick
Yeah,
it up, he
Summit
gets
was
kicked
great.
in the face.
That is really, really good Yomi from Kazunoko though. Really,
And
really,
yes,
really
Intra,
impressive.
we've been watching. We've been
But
going
Samito
over
also
Summit's
with the situation
replays.
managed to follow up every single time his expected burst bait didn't.
Woo!
come good.
I'm always happy when Summit wins, because not only does it mean I get to watch some good ass Chipp, but I get to talk about it on stream later.
That's what you baited my DP?
Yeah.
Fuck, that air throw was good.
Okay, and this goes into the high on the other side. Great block.
Oh,
and
Again,
that's-
catches him
that's
with a
on the
staggered
block.
low.
Kazunoko definitely wants to match
Kazunoko
Bobby
wanted to press
after the
buttons
first back
'cause it had been
out.
working for him.
And Ash mixed up. And what would this be?
Ooh!
Yes.
Yeah, high. Oh my goodness.
Get him.
And no-
Oh,
that is
I
not
mean,
safe.
you had
That
to.
is not safe, but Kazunoko had.
Just
What
Samito.
happened? What's going on?
Where am I?
Yeah.
What
Where
year
are
is
we?
this?
It's 2019. Okay.
Alright, thanks.
Yes.
Alright.
Alright. And
Oh
get
my
this
God, that's like
advanced
that, yes.
mixed up, and that's very, very difficult to block.
Again, the overhead
Almost
working.
able to control it.
Narrowly misses the confirm.
That overhead, to be clear, that overhead is usually something that a Chipp player is like
Such a good
embarrassed if it
anti-air
works.
goal.
Whenever I land it, I'm like, I'm sorry, because I know that it was a bad idea for both of us.
Yeah, the best part you can OTG after a super.
Oh, Samito is autonomous
Honestly,
right
though,
now.
the best
He's
part
already
was
on the
watching
point.
Starsky at Evo, not this year, but last year, when he mashed the shit out of it, and he hit one dude with it like 17 times, I swear to God. But since Starsky didn't have any combos after it, he had to hit the dude 17 times with the overhead. Nice, Chamber.
Very, very difficult to deal with that one.
Alright, get
Okay,
throws the
but
ball
triple
again.
jump away instantly. Anti-air though. And Kazunoko has a lot of muzzle
Yeah.
bar.
He's very excited right now. Oh, Alpha Blaze out.
Oh, but yes, the YRC gets him to neutral.
What's
Yeah,
he gonna
and
be this time?
that's not a very real setup, so Kazunoko doesn't expect it. But what? An air grab! But again, another
So there, it's not until then that Kazunoko, this is like, I think, almost 3 or 4 games later, that Kazunoko manages to punish him for wake up backdashing and then back air dashing the
Yeah,
meaty
too far away
fireball.
for. Oh, what is this?
Danger
What's gonna happen? Oh, no, but he couldn't confirm the danger time.
Yeah,
No,
Proximius, I think,
Okay, puts on the ball.
Adapts
And
has
he's
found a
so
lot
afraid of
more
the melee
use
blade.
for Orb
Oh,
when
yeah, Samito better
he
than
does the
that.
grounded one to help pin Chipp
Alright,
down a
so
little
if
bit
he
without
very
actually
good
putting him in
evasive
block
movement.
zone.
Yep, gets the little
Throwing it out in
into the
neutral
throw.
is dangerous.
Okay,
I wouldn't
but
recommend
Kazunoko
it.
doesn't believe that he will avoid.
Yeah, man, thanks to the
Oh.
because he got danger time. He
Oh, what?
grab.
And that's a really, really good grab from Samito. Very aware of the mix-up that Kazunoko's running. And the burst, yes, reacts to the burst. And gets the setup, but he can't kill. He will get some kind of setup. Will it be a high knock? Oh, Kazunoko doesn't care!
Hey, what up, Rush? Good to see you.
I see Needle.
Oh, and then the goal.
Right, good shit, Kazunoko. Way to not get double swept.
Trying to throw each other.
Suddenly so much was going on. They're both gonna go home like, oh, so what happened today? I threw a lot. I got thrown a bit too. Yeah.
Oh, and the jump hit shitting behind, but Samito not able to get the confirmation. Will be able to get
Oh,
it knocked
someone
down
with a
against
micro
Rainbow.
dash P.
What's he gonna be?
Just to get that
Gamma
little
blade,
extra
gamma
damage.
blade.
Hey,
Oh,
Sintra,
oh,
thank you
yeah.
for the 2 months,
Use
homie.
the
Appreciate
meter
your support.
Oh, again. Kazunoko gotta stop mashing 4P after the Rekka. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're
Clash
just
into
finishing it up,
8-1,
Rush.
And 6B is beaten out by Jump K. And anti-Alpha Blade.
What's he gonna?
Again, Samito just wanting to get a safe way to go in using meter. Oh, 6P runs up.
Hell
throws
yeah,
it.
hit him with the dab.
Okay, and I have to say Samito's adaptations are working and Kazunoko's are not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be.
OTG.
Yes. Again.
We're gonna need to see some.
Yeah,
stage
to be
changes from
honest,
Kazunoco
this
and quick.
this
Right
set
point
to me
out.
is the difference between
Oh, whoa,
someone who's good at fighting games and plays Guilty Gear and someone who's
Samito's
good at
great.
Guilty
Burst
Gear
early.
because he plays Guilty Gear.
Oh, and the
nice.
2S counter hit allows
Yes,
him to
knock
combo,
down.
put out the ball to force
Like,
Samito to not move.
I don't think there's any way that
Oh,
Kazunoko
yeah,
could put in as much time as Summit has on Gear just because Kazunoko's competing in so many different games. And that's what makes Kazunoko amazing as a player. But Gear, if you give a dedicated Gear player 3 first to 3s to figure you out, and you don't have enough stuff to keep things fresh, you're fucked. Like, this game just rewards going deep. This is one of the things that I learned in my Tension Pulse set. This is the first time I'd ever played like a competitive. Oh my god, I love that. Just in case, right? He hits the wall cling, air dash into falling shuriken, then comes down with JS, and Kazunoko just almost techs right into that slow shuriken. But yeah, Guilty Gear, if you don't know how to play, like a first to 7 or a first to 10 in Guilty Gear is different than a first to 3. It just is. And Summit here got 3 chances to play Kazunoko in a first to 3, right? Like, if you go deep on Guilty Gear, you're ready for that. You got adaptations on adaptations on adaptations. But if you play Gear and a bunch of other games, you just won't have the depth. And honestly, like, shout out to Kazunoko for making it as far as he did, but he had Summit in there, homie, and Summit's gonna be ready to go deep on that shit. So good shit to Summit for cleaning up Southeast Asian Major, but also being gracious enough to get sent to losers and winners finals so that we could watch even more good ass Summit action. I'm so glad that we were able to watch that shit. It was a ton of fun. I hope you got something out of it. Now I'm gonna open up for some fucking open lobby.